those are your bone dice.
Hello.
I gotta stop over dice.
Ain't no such thing. Hola!
Serious question. How many candy corn pumpkins have been destroyed tonight?
At least a handful already. I'm trying to show some self-restraint, though.
It won't be for long.
Listen. That's rude.
That is true.
That may or may not be relevant. All right. All right, we're getting into it. Last time on D&D, last time in the last session, the party, through some sort of blood ritual, had been teleported back to somewhere on Eldra, and the reasoning behind that was that the world was coming to an end on whatever plane that they were on, and Myrmir, in his brief moments of all-knowing granted by drinking water tainted by whatever juices were inside that ancient old one monstrosity, decided to send the party on their way to prevent more destruction and chaos and get these guys back where they belong. Well, Wolfram and Reyna decided that they weren't going to let him, take the self-sacrifice, and pulled him on through with them. Finding themselves in a driving snowstorm on the other side. Of course, Myrmir was none too happy, but the party decided now wasn't the time or place, and headed towards lights in the distance. Once they reached said lights in the distance, barely able to see in this, horrible flurry of a blizzard, they found that it was the village of relatives of Wolfram's. And also discovered that this village had been under assault, at least for the last few nights, maybe even up to a week or so, of monsters and various different dangers, beasties and such, from the surrounding area. And a few people have even died. Here the party met Wolfram's family. Even a few of his named siblings, or rather, siblings were named and, introduced and spoke to the party for an extended period. Wolfram's mother kind of doted on the entire party, making sure they all got a good, nice, long rest and a good, filling meal. And, it is here where, in the morning, we've awoken to find a note left from Driffin, basically explaining that he needed some time to go find himself, to go commune with and defeat his inner demons, per se. We now find ourselves here in the home Valtar, in the morning after our long rest. Reyna, you're usually the first to be awake, quote unquote awake, because you come out of your trance. So you're up at about when do you take your trance? Do you like to take it early or late, or what are you thinking?
Since we're here, I would probably take the first shift because normally, well, I mean, like I would probably sleep when everybody goes to sleep because for one, I'm exhausted, and two, most of the time I take it later. Just because I'm watching over everybody. So since we've got Wolfram's family around us and stuff, I feel comfortable enough to sleep first.
Okay. So then, I imagine you're probably taking your trance if it about the same time everyone's going to sleep. Probably about 9-ish, right? So you're coming to at about 1 a.m. And we are going to go to Guizo at this point. Guizo, you don't sleep. What are you doing throughout the night?
Guizo is he's gonna be drawing. He's gonna be trying to draw the Eldritch horror that they had fought.
Oh, beautiful, awesome. Just out of curiosity, will you give me a performance check?
Yes. One sec. That is going to be a natural 22.
Oh, nice. So, you are able to translate with extreme skill the, your image that you had in your head down to paper. It's it almost kind of messes with your head to see it again in such striking detail. With that kind of role, I feel like you almost kind of were channeling something else, your direct memory of the thing through the pen, your charcoal stick into the paper. And it's a little unsettling to look at your rendering of it. So, Guizo, as you're drawing through the night, probably about 11:30, you notice that Marmir, who has been sitting by the fire, just sitting on the ground by the fire, knees up, palms on his knees, eventually stands up and rifles through his bag that had been propped against the wall, grabbing a charcoal pen himself and a notebook, and goes outside to sit on the porch. You can see through the front window he's sat in one of the couple of rocking chairs that are on Holm Valtaire's porch. Do you take any action for when seeing this? You don't have to, by the way. I'm just before I move on to the next part of the scene.
I'm gonna let him do his thing.
Cool. So, Reyna, you come out of your trance, and Guizo is sat at the dinner table sketching in one of his notebooks. And outside, you see, still sat on the porch at about 1 a.m., is Marmir writing in his notebook.
Okay. I would probably stop in and check on Guizo and just ask how the night was and ask about Mimir. So probably just, has he been out there the whole
I would say he has probably been out there for a little while. Maybe 45 minutes. I have been really focused. I'm sorry.
That's okay, I was just checking. I would probably go outside and talk to Amir. Check in on him and make sure he's doing okay.
Okay. So, Reyna, you walk past Wolfram on your way to the door, who is fucking gone. Like he needed this long rest. He is full on cutting logs, bundled up in his wolf fur, wolf pelt rather, and as you actually get out the door, Mermir says to you, before you have a chance to say anything to him, you couldn't. Hold on, let me find his voice. You couldn't sleep well either.
Oh, kind of. I don't really sleep by trance.
You don't sleep.
No.
That's right, I guess you're an elf, so you wouldn't really. You elves don't. Huh.
Correct. How are you doing? You okay?
Well, a lot has happened, obviously, and it's been hard to process. But I'm getting it here. I'm getting it. He taps the end of his charcoal pencil to the paper.
Well, if you ever need to talk, I'm here.
Thanks. I think I think I'm gonna gather you all in the morning. Does Wolfram not really sleep either? I noticed Weezo? He just doesn't sleep.
Correct. Weezo doesn't sleep. However, Wolfram will sleep for a full 8 hours. Or more. He was
Right.
pretty hurt.
Right. Well, I think I'm gonna. I think I just need a few more minutes by myself, and then I'm gonna try and catch a couple hours myself. If you don't take any offense, please.
No.
I don't mean any.
Not at all, I just wanted to check. I will let you.
Thank you.
I will head back into the house.
Cool. So, do you have any actions? Do either of you have anything that you're going to do for the rest of this rest? That obviously that doesn't count as breaking the rest.
I don't think so.
I don't have anything in mind.
Can I say that this is probably the time that Reyna would be going through Griffin's letter and figuring out the secret message to her?
Yes. So that I would consider that light work. So we are, unless you want to address that before the morning, we are going to kind of skip to in the morning. Wolfram finally comes to. Reyna, not long, maybe another 30 minutes after you spoke to Mermir. He comes in and he props himself against the wall and closes his eyes, and in a sitting upright position, just kind of leans back, and before long you can see his chest heaving more heavily.
Hey, Mimir, are you okay?
Hey, Quisa. I think you might be sleeping now.
Sure enough, he doesn't respond. He's pretty far gone. He's had a lot hit him the last couple of days, and he really needed his sleep. So, come morning time, roughly about the same time as Wolfram actually, which would mean Wolfram usually early to rise. Would mean that Mimir didn't get much sleep, but he rose about 20-30 minutes after Wolfram, and as you guys are kind of milling about, readying breakfast, he speaks up and. You guys, Guizo, Reno, Wolfram, I had some things that I need to speak to you about. Would you all mind sitting and listening?
Not a problem to me.
Wolfram's mother is also up and moving about, and she, of course, is already. You can smell in a kettle hung over the fire. There's already like beans stewing, and you can smell bacon grease from bacon being cooked.
I think probably early in the morning, two of Wolfram's other sisters would arrive. And I think they would probably be making bread early in the morning.
Beautiful. So, yeah, you guys also smell this, the wonderful scent of this party. In my head, I imagine it's like a very heavy, like, what's the words I'm looking for here? It's a very crusty, dark bread.
Yeah, nutritious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
What? Okay. No, I got a text from the pharmacy about a medicine I've been taking for about a year now. Hey, we have useful information about how to take your medicine, and I'm like, what? It just really was distracting. Okay, so Mimir has sat not at the head of the table, but more towards the. I imagine this room is laid out where there's a large fur rug that the table is kind of atop, and this room is kind of a multi-purpose room with a few chairs. There's a bench in one corner under the windows that point out onto the porch, with the big fireplace, and the fireplace has a large cauldron kind of bubbling away at it with the never-ending soup still going. And in the other room is where the smells of food are coming from, where there's a kitchen proper. And Mimir just takes his time, and he speaks up and says, first of all, I'd like to ask all of you if you have any questions for me. Before I, get into my whole thing.
Not yet.
Right, so
I would let him talk first.
So, what is going on right now? I drank water infused very deeply with the essence of a being which exists, sort of. Its consciousness is simultaneous with all the other consciousnesses of its kind. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I think so.
all of the memories of its kind it has, and along with that comes a certain passing down of wisdom. I can't really explain it much more than that, but over the past few hours things have been coming to me as I've thought about them, almost like chipping ice away to find the chipping ice or stone away to find the statue underneath. And I very well think that it's because of that. I mean, when I drank it, I fell unconscious. I don't remember if I had any dreams or, you know. I through what I have done, have gained a level of knowledge of arcane things. For one, the blood ritual in which I sent us all here. Unfortunately, I can't do that again right away. It is a blood ritual. It uses a part of me more than the physical blood. And that takes a lot of time to heal. At the very least, a few days. That being said, I know I can do it again at some point. And I've thought this over a lot, and Reyna, Wolfram, you were right to try and save me. I need to use this knowledge that I have now to help you, to prevent what happened to my world from happening here. And I'm willing to do what it takes to do that. If only you all would accept me.
Of course.
And
Guizo stands up and reaches his hand out to shake Mirmir's.
Mirmir looks at your hand for a second, almost confused, and kind of realizes what's happening, and reaches his hand out to shake yours. And it's not the firmest grip in the world. Also, I will say right now, Mirmir looks very tired. Just in every sense of the word. You know, bags under his eyes, worn out. Not just physically tired, but just run through the mud in every way. Every metaphor you can use for exhausted. And he says, thank you all for that. I think I have some understanding of how this works. Because I've been thinking about certain things and trying to solve certain problems. It's almost as if the answers have been plucked out of the air and given to me. I think that the level of intelligence and wisdom passed down from generation to generation of those things is affecting me in a very, very limited way. In that, if I need the information, if I'm searching for it, I'll find it. I can find the answer, I just have to know the question. I don't know, that feels like a very roundabout way to explain it, and I don't feel like I've explained it properly, but that's what I know for now. Speaking of that, Wolf from your village here, I was thinking about how to solve the problem last night of the attacks. And I have a theory that there's something nearby that has taken up residence that shouldn't be here. That was able to take up residence because its home was kicked up and it dusted up, was able to bubble to the surface of the scum pond and make its way out here. And that thing is scaring away other less dangerous but still very dangerous things. And unfortunately, your village is just caught in the crossbow fire. I think if we were able to figure out what that thing is, then we can take care of it and save your village. If that is something that you wish to do.
I I don't really know how to respond to this. Like, Wolfram didn't grow up here.
Mermir is not aware of that. He has assumed that this is where you
Gotcha.
from.
I don't know, man. I don't really know how to respond to that in character, so I guess I would just nod.
Okay. I guess as the newest person here, what all is your priorities? He's asking just generally to the group.
Well, we want to find where we're supposed to be and try to make it right.
What? Well, did you have a goal? Where are you supposed to be? Where were you headed before you ended up in my home realm? If you need reminded that, I can remind you.
Yes.
So you all were headed to the. Let me pull up the maps because I have some places I forget what the stuff is called. You were headed to the mountains south of Skyhelm in order to quell the uprising of a cult that is believed to be there, raising up another conduit, and the conduits are conduits for the hunger's power, a way for the hunger to leak into this world, which is why you were looking to stop them.
Okay. I would explain.
Right. So, yeah, he asked, you show me where that is on a map, maybe, and you're able to pull out a map and point it out to him easily.
Say, yeah, I could do that.
And he says, well, I honestly think I could get you there. These maps look very similar to maps of my home world, and I think I have an idea of where I could drop you all off. Well, us off now. I'm sorry, it's hard for me to think of us all as a group yet, but I'll get there. So, I guess what I'm asking is, do we deal with whatever is plaguing this village first, or do we try and get us back to, says here, Skyhelm, or were you at Baylor? Baylor looks a lot like Mermirton, honestly.
Well, we were in Baylor. But we were just stopping over for a short amount of time, which is where we started to explore the tombs, which is where we found what we called the old version of Mermirton.
Well, if I'm right, come about midday tomorrow, I can probably, let's see. I once visited here. And he's looking at the map, the world map that you gave him. Once visited here, and if I'm right, then that means that this should hopefully be correct. All right, okay. So, there is a city just to the left of on the continent of Lagra map. There are these little, hive cities. Hive, I don't know why I said hive. This little bunch of, like, cities, kind of to the left, from the mountains that are your end goal. And he points there and he says, I think this is pretty equivalent to somewhere I have visited in my world. And I could probably get you that close. But not, like I said, I would have to have another full day's rest, probably.
That would be fun. We would appreciate you getting us any closer.
Right. Well, this is all very new to me, and I'm not exactly sure what's going on with how or what I know myself, but I think I know enough to get the job done.
I get that.
And he stands and looks around the room, and through the doorway he can see Wolfram's mother, and he catches her attention as she's walking past. Big crock with a loaf of cooling bread inside of it, like a Dutch oven, and he says, "Ma'am,
Yeah.
is there anything I can do to help out?"
Are you asking me?
Wolfram's mother, and she just kind of says, "You're a guest here. There's no need for you to help."
No. She would for sure put everybody to work. The village is under attack. I don't know what you mean. Like, people are dying. That's why they're making all this bread.
Cool. Okay, so I'll shift my gears.
Oh, Yalva is her name, by the way.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Yalva, Ylva.
Yalva. Okay. All right. So. There is a flurry of motion, as she does indeed set everybody to work. Basically, she's like, if asses are in seats, people aren't eating. We need to get going, you guys, and kind of starts to motivate people around. Basically, handing people brooms and especially just whatever is at hand to do whatever chores.
When people are finished cleaning with rags and stuff, Guizo is going to use prestidigitation to clean them.
Oh, awesome. You are, doing your thing. I imagine, Guizo, you've been handed a mop, and you've been, cleaning and making sure that, everybody doesn't trip over empty empty flour sacks and such, and see, there's a bunch of rags from wiping up the counters and stuff, and you do this, and it seems, all of the people running around and doing their things seem to be relieved, because it's like, oh wow, that was a lot quicker than we could have wrung them out and such.
Oh, well, I couldn't have done that so quick without the help of my unseen servant. And as he says that, like a fallen over vase behind Guizo just kind of turns upright.
That's awesome. I love it. There are some children nearby that are running around that are impressed by your seeming feat of magic. Well, it is a feat of magic, but
So, what do you think, guys?
What's next?
Sorry, what was that?
What are we doing?
So a kind of soup line has been, over the past couple of hours, manufactured. This never-ending soup has been kind of moved to a outside position, as the people who were on last night's watch come come up, getting the shift for the midday guard, and the people who aren't eating are helping out, and it's there's kind of in front of the Wolfram in front of your mother's house is kind of where this line kind of originates.
I imagine we would go into town for this. Wolfram's mother's house is probably on the outskirts. It's probably a small farm. If we were going to be handing out food, that's actually why I said bread, because it keeps and it can be handed out.
Right. Well, I
Like, we can join in on it or we cannot. I don't really know what the rest of the group wants to do.
Could carry stuff to the town.
I can't really hear you, Raina. You're very quiet.
We could walk to the town and carry stuff to the town.
Sure. I imagine they're probably also putting up fortifications like spikes or whatever, so that it's not just an open field and there's no cover. So if things are attacking the town, there's actually like some sort of fortification. I'd imagine there's some sort of defense being set up. There's probably people milling about, fixing damage, tending to the wounded, things like that. Feel free, anybody, to jump in. Is anybody there? If you guys want, I mean, like, sure. Me either, really. I don't understand why we're here. I don't know what we're supposed to be doing.
I think right now it's just kind of downtime until Mirmir's power is charged.
Okay. I'm cool with just skipping ahead and we just say whatever we think we want to be doing, like handing out food or working on something or sharpening weapons or whatever.
I'm sorry guys. I don't think I'm in the right headset right now. I'm sorry.